The Lemon Squeeze Show is here to inspire, empower, and illuminate women around the globe. As entrepreneurs, role models, warriors, the glue that holds families together, trendsetters, career women, and mothers of the earth, we face obstacles daily. We conquer the inevitable. We persevere beyond measure. And we flourish unapologetically. It's a fact that life will bring you lemons. It's a choice for you to make lemonade. Welcome to the Lemon Squeeze Show. That's what JoJo knows.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
It's your girl, JoJo Knows.
And Constance B.
And you are tuned into the Lemon Squeeze Show here at WPSN99.com.
The Problem Solving Network.
Yes, and it's a little
great
different
place
today.
to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why? We are here for National Black HIV AIDS Awareness Day.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're actually here at the Holden Heights Community Center right now.
In Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Which is so awesome because it's a different feeling, a different vibe.
I know.
It's really awesome because we're here for
out
an
of the studio.
amazing cause. And we're out of the studio. We're out of our little shell.
Yes. And we will be interviewing a lot of individuals today, discussing HIV, AIDS, awareness, getting tested, being educated.
Yes, and even having some different questions about if you're in a relationship and how often you should get tested. And so I'm excited because these are all things that I want to know for myself as well as our viewers and our followers. And
Absolutely. It's such an important topic. It's such an important issue, and a lot of people are afraid just of those words. So,
Exactly.
just being able to be here on such an important cause so people can get educated and tested. And the fabulous, amazing Dr. Robertson just showed up.
Hello, ladies. It's such a privilege seeing such bright smiles and beautiful faces on this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robertson.
It is a pleasure to be here.
It
Okay.
is a pleasure, and we're extremely excited to be
Yes,
here for
it's
this
an honor.
event.
Yes.
This is an awesome event to have.
Well,
Tell us more.
Well, I definitely will. One of the things that was not included in your being here is that now you are part of our National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day family.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
And by that, I mean that the individuals who have become part of this are folks that have ranged from the ordinary, everyday community resident that just is concerned about HIV/AIDS, all the way to folks like I would want to say Mary J. Blige, who has done a PSA for us. Hill Harper, who has been a spokesman with us. And so you're in and among a very privileged and a very
Yes.
special crowd.
What a family to be a part of.
That is
That's
so
so
true.
exciking.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for
thank you
just
for
welcoming us
welcoming
with
us.
warm arms.
Absolutely, absolutely. As they say, you know how we are, when we get to calling people family.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I know you had asked about a little bit more about National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And the day was created at this year, 18 years ago, when through a number of national black organizations, such as Balm in Gilead, the National Black Alcoholism Council, and a number of other organizations, wanted to be a voice for the black community, because at that time, as you just mentioned, with the stigma that was there, that our community was talking very quietly
Yes.
and at times very embarrassedly about HIV/AIDS.
Right.
And we said that, as with many other causes, it was time for us to come out of the closet,
Right.
to really step into the sunshine, to step up, and to be that voice. And it wasn't from presumption that we felt that we could be a voice, but we said somebody had to start it.
Yes.
And we're very proud to say that after these 18 years, that the effort is not only a national effort, but has also spread internationally. So
Oh,
that
wow.
there
Yeah.
are
Oh, amazing.
yeah, there are countries in the Caribbean and also in Africa that also recognize National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. And so when we talk about HIV, again, in our community, it's often thought that, well, we don't do those things, okay?
Right.
And one of the questions I had in starting out in the field was, what do you mean by those things? Okay?
Because I was going to ask that too, because like those things.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. And what we, who advocate say that in terms of those things, our activities and our sexuality is, again, no different from the rest of the general population.
Right.
Yes.
So that, and just to again, pull some stuff out of the closet, as you know, that in our Black gay community and LGBT community,
Right.
often it is a silent or a well-known secret
Right.
in many families that have LGBT individuals in the family, but often will not talk about it, will often deny or to stigmatize that individual.
Right.
And so
Absolutely.
we said that we need to let folks know that as we talk about family, we mean the entire family.
Right.
No-
No one's left out.
Exactly.
Yes.
No matter what you look like, no matter what your sexual practice is, no matter what your lifestyle is, we're about saving lives. And that's what the National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day is about, and that is saving lives. As you know, that in our churches, that there's often the sense of not wanting to talk about, again, those things.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly.
But we feel very proud through affiliation with groups like Balm and Gilead that has a national church network that they've been able to talk to so many churches across the country and let them know that HIV is something that is alive and well in the church.
Oh,
And-
yes.
Absolutely.
Right. And that, that the church, as the one organization in our African American community that can be an organizing force, that we felt that we needed to continuously reach out to the church and get them involved.
Right.
That's so important.
Exactly. And so we're very proud that we will go into churches. We expect a number of the churches to have their members here today
Nice.
and get HIV tested.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
That is extremely wonderful.
And one of the presenters who will be here a little bit later, Pastor Jenkins,
Okay.
is going to also, and I'm putting him on blast, he's also going to be singing
Oh.
in support of our effort.
That's awesome.
So with that, I want to say that what you are doing in broadcasting and letting the information be out and about on the airwaves also adds strength and also add more force to our message. And again, our message simply is, firstly, to get educated,
Yes.
to learn about HIV/AIDS, because if you don't know, how can you prevent, or how can you get treated?
Right.
Our next step is, again, if positive, to get treated.
Absolutely.
Okay. And again, way back, I remember there were folks who said, well, even if I have it, I don't want to know. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And-
That's
I
yeah,
still
you
hear
hear-
that.
I was gonna say
Right.
you
Oh,
hear
okay,
that a
so
lot.
you still- exactly. And so what we've said is that if you know your status, then you're taking an active step for prevention, because it's been shown through a lot of the research that individuals who know their status, simply knowing your status, whether you're positive or negative, decreases the probability that you're going to engage in unsafe sex acts. That's hard for me to say this morning. Unsafe sex acts. I want to make sure that our listening audience hears that.
Unsafe sex acts.
Right, there you go. And that by knowing your status, then you become again, a carrier of information
Yeah.
rather than a carrier or a transmitter.
Right.
Okay, so that's important. And then we ask for that third step, and that is to get involved. Okay, and y'all are already there because by your radio broadcast, you've become involved, and we're hoping that aside from this day, that you'll carry that message every day to those that are perhaps not here, may not hear it today, but who will hear it at another time or through one of your other broadcasts.
Wow,
May
okay.
say, well, these sisters are talking about it. They're giving us information and educating us. So, maybe I need to go get tested.
Yes,
Right.
and that's what
Okay.
it's all about.
Exactly.
Empowering.
That's what we
Exactly.
want to do,
Yes,
encourage.
inspiring
And
and encouraging
Yeah.
others to, step out on faith, even if you're fearful. Face your fear and get tested. I know,
Exactly.
like years ago, it was a fear of, you find out and then you pass away. But now
Yeah.
with so much
Yes.
research and, doctors and scientists out there, I've learned that if you find out earlier on, there's medication to where there's a lot of people living with HIV and they live a normal life.
Absolutely. And today, that those individuals that get treated, their life expectancy closely approaches that of the general population.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So as somebody said that if treated, you're more likely to get run over by a bus and pass away in that way instead of
Oh,
dying
wow.
from the the ravages of HIV/AIDS.
Right.
Okay.
And that's huge.
That
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And that's something that I want, especially for our generation to be able to look at and be comfortable with going to get tested and not
Yes.
feeling that, okay, if I get tested and I find out I'm going to die next month.
It's more
Exactly.
It's over
detrimental
for
for
me.
you not to find out.
Right.
Right.
Then you've signed your death certificate.
And then
Exactly.
and having the risk or the possibility of giving it to someone else
Right.
because of not knowing. So Right.
Exactly. So, and the other thing too, as you said, with your generation, one of the things that we also want to emphasize is that prevention is the best cure.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that, there are some young people that feel invincible, that
this
nothing.
nothing can
Oh,
happen
yes.
to me.
Exactly.
They don't look
exactly.
like they have it.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
They too
exactly.
fine to have HIV.
Right,
you
right,
know?
exactly.
Yes.
And so you get that attitude. And so again, and I'm gonna again appeal to the sisters, because as brothers, sometimes, and I'm talking about my young brothers now,
Right.
sometimes, they don't think,
No.
or they're thinking
Down
with-
there.
With
yeah,
the
exactly,
wrong- with the
exactly.
wrong
We got you, Dr.
Right.
Robert.
Okay. See, most of the time I'll make it plain, but I'm trying to clean it up a
Oh,
little
you
bit.
you can make it plain.
Okay.
We need everyone to hear and understand.
Listen,
Exactly what you're saying,
So
yeah.
if I can have an ask, and that is to have my sisters really step up and
Yes.
say, if you want to get busy, you
better
need to
strap.
let me know your status.
What? Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And it ain't about, well, I'm feeling this way or that way, etc.
Or I don't trust
And-
you, or I don't.
Yes.
It's not well, in a sense, but hey, we're making sure.
Right. and if I can take one thing, and this is somebody who I usually don't quote, but to quote Ronald Reagan, okay,
Okay.
trust but verify,
Yes. Love it.
okay? So as a simple task for the sisters, and I know you reach out and they listen to you,
Absolutely.
and that is to stand up to be the queens that they are.
Yes.
And so that, and to treat themselves, and their relationships in that way, so that if they have those feelings, come up, and they want to be with a brother, we're not going to get sanctimonious, but we want them to really protect themselves.
Absolutely.
To be able to be there so that they can enjoy a full, happy, and and as busy a life as they want to be, but safely.
But safely.
Yes.
Okay. All
Be
right.
busy
I
but
love that.
safe if you
There
want
you
to.
go.
That's your prerogative.
Right. There you go.
And you know what you said, verify. Verifying is not just,
By mouth.
asking that man, like, hey, do you have that ish? And, 9 times 10, like, they're going to be like, no.
Right,
it's
right.
really like making sure you protect yourself. Okay, if you say you don't have it, then let's go out and see get it
Right.
facts and black
Right.
and white
Right.
On
before
paper.
right? Because let's be honest, ladies. There's sometimes when you get with the guys and and then you end up doing it too fast, or you have
Right.
unprotected sex. And the first thing that people always say is, "I normally don't do this."
Right.
And it's not the
right.
truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so verifying is that paperwork.
There
Right.
you go. There you go. And I tell you, just as a practical thing, one of the most loving things, and you can tell if a brother is trifling or not, and that is
keep it
to say-
real.
right,
Oh, I
okay.
have a question for you,
Okay.
Dr. Robinson.
Right. And that is to say, baby, listen, we're going to get there, but let's go down to the health department together, okay?
Yeah.
That's a wonderful first
All
date.
right, okay.
That's a
All
wonderful.
right, all right, okay.
Right.
Listen. So,
We don't have to go get steak. We're going to go get tested.
there you go. That's right.
Love
Say before you take me out to that dinner that you've been
Yes.
talking about.
I might
okay.
not want it after
All right. So that's on a practical basis. The other thing too, and that's again being real, that a lot of folks may be in more than one relationship.
Yes.
And it gets to be critical, and this is almost verging into another topic, but in order to prevent HIV, if people can be honest about what they're what they're up to or what they're into, at least it lets their partner know whether they need to be protected or not. Because what happens is that after a while, folks get together. And usually it's the brother that says, "Oh, baby, you don't want me to wear that thing, do you?"
Oh,
They want to feel the real thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
it doesn't feel comfortable, or
Right,
all
right.
that.
And all of those excuses,
Yes.
or
I'm allergic to the lady.
Right.
Going.
That's it.
Yeah, I've heard that
Exactly.
before.
Them things can't fit me.
Yes. That's another
Right,
good one.
right.
Yes.
And I will tell you, and this is one thing in terms of education that sisters ought to be up on, and that is there is every size, every shape, every
Yes.
sensitivity, in terms of condoms. And additionally, there are, if you have any doubts, there are now a second generation of female condoms.
Yes.
Okay.
I was just about to say. And they have flavored ones too, right?
They're flavored.
Yes.
They're glow in the dark.
lubed, glow in the dark, multicolored.
Yes.
The whole deal. So
I came up with an idea for condoms.
Like sheepskin. They got a
Yeah.
real expensive kind.
They have
too.
sheepskin, lambskin, bearskin.
okay now.
And I don't know about other skins.
Okay, now that's important. What you just said. One of the things in terms of the sheepskin is that because of the porous nature of sheepskin, it's really not the recommended.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So
Yeah.
no sheepskin.
No sheepskin.
Okay.
Okay. And again, it's just because of the porous nature, and often the sheepskin is uneven in its texture, so that it can actually allow viruses or other bacteria through.
Oh,
So
wow.
right, and there are some latex alternatives in case someone is allergic to latex.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So sheepskin are the ones that bust all the time.
Well, now latex does bust also. Okay.
Okay.
So
That's good for y'all to hear, you know?
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But again, one of the best things are that again, ladies, in protecting yourself,
Yes.
is to check out what condom the gentleman is using, and if you have your own that you know that you have gotten, and the expiration date. And that's another
really
thing.
good.
Another
Check
good-
the
Yes.
expiration
Check the
date
They
on
do
that.
expire.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that is it. I think that they may be calling.
They
me
are
into the
calling
main
you.
event.
You come
Okay.
back and see us.
Yes,
Well,
come back.
listen,
We
It was a
enjoyed
pleasure.
you.
We enjoyed you. We've
Very
learned so much.
informative.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Very good.
thank you again. We're excited. We're going to keep this going.
Okay.
And we're going to keep your seat warm, too.
Okay.
We really
And-
enjoyed talking
and
to
I
you.
understand that we have one of you is going to be talking in our main room a little
Yes.
bit
Yes,
later.
That's Constance B.
Okay.
Oh,
very-
and I'm excited. I can't wait to come out there. I'm
Okay,
ready.
okay, Constance,
She's
we're looking
pumped up,
forward.
ready to go.
Okay, and I know you got your backup here. So
yeah,
right
okay.
here. Right.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
No, thank
you.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye.
I have to remember to ask him a question. It was when he comes back. Have you ever heard the myth where the man touches the back of his ear and touches the woman, and if she doesn't squirm, that means she's good? Have you ever heard that?
I have never heard that.
Yeah. There's a
That
this
sounds
myth.
like witchcraft. I can't do it. I can't do it. That really sounds like
I know.
something that
Yeah, I was just.
I would
like-
feel like you're doing something to me. Like,
No, it's
What are you
like
doing?
no. I found out it's like something that the woman lets you know doesn't pay attention to, and I think I'm saying it wrong. I think they put their finger in their ear or something.
so
and they-
wax.
Yeah,
It might
and
be wet.
Maybe
It'd
they
be
touch
wax.
the belly button.
But-
I'm telling you, it's something.
All right, I gotta jump in here. What are you saying?
She
No,
said something
there
about putting
is-
wax
there
under the
is
JJ.
There is this. I'm calling it a.
What?
No, I'm serious. I heard it. There's like this. I want to say it's either a remedy or
That's
like
witchcraft.
a human way that men have been told that they can see if something is wrong with the woman's vagina prior to having sex, and it has something to do with earwax.
You're saying there's a dip test of some sort.
Yes.
And wax
I mean,
is
I don't
the way
I don't
to
believe it.
find out.
But
Oh, okay.
I know that it's out there, and some individuals
Well, we need to
really
stop
feel
spreading
like,
that lie.
Yeah.
No,
go ahead and look in the
that's
camera
why,
and tell them that's a lie
That's
right
why
now.
I wanted to ask Dr. Robinson so
To
he could
see-
even say, like, absolutely not. Like, that
Stop
is a
listening
myth.
to that.
You don't do that.
That's like
That's
sounds like
nasty. You don't even put wax on nobody.
You know, if someone do, I'm like, pop.
Exactly. And then it's a total turn off because I feel like you're trying to do something.
We're not even doing anything anymore. Like,
Yeah.
You tried
Your
it.
last and
Yeah.
told you something, and now
Yeah,
you're trying
no.
to put that on me.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with your earwax, you know?
That's like chicken foot. Like you tell me you're gonna put chicken feet
Yeah.
to cure something. I don't want chicken foot. I don't want your
Yes.
wax. But
We're gonna-
anyhow,
I'm sure we're gonna find someone today. That's gonna be our goal. Who has heard of this myth? So you all know. I'm telling you all, I heard it. We're gonna find someone.
we are gonna find someone.
What,
Yes.
what island? That has to be an island thing.
No, like seriously, I heard it a few months ago, and then I heard it again, like someone confirming that this is something that men do.
Wow. I've never had that done. Louis, have you,
know, I
ever
have a-
done that?
You know, I have
No,
a
I've
teenage
never even
son,
thought about it.
and so I hear different things now. So I don't know if it's like a new generation.
I feel like I missed out on an opportunity to,
like the
do
earwax.
something weird.
yeah, to do something really memorable.
My earwax told me that you was clean. You know, so
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
Absolutely.
That's a good laugh though. I like it, but I don't believe that.
no, I don't either.
It's
Like
too
I would
funny.
feel some type of way,
Yeah.
personally. But
Like,
you know,
boy,
yeah, you lost your mind. Yeah, but then what?
you called mama up on that one. Ma, guess what just happened?
Like what kind of ions and atoms and molecules does the earwax have to be able to dictate?
Now, what
You
I
know that
did
this would be a
hear-
different type of world.
What
if
I
we
did-
could just take earwax and figure
Find out.
Yeah,
But no, what I did hear is that earwax was a way to contract HIV, and that's why using other people's earbuds and you don't know, or doing certain things like that is supposed to not be good, and that's really what I did hear. Now I haven't done any research on that,
So
but just
earwax
like
to
saliva,
but which is another good
wound
question.
to wound.
But that the earwax would have to, like if you touched it, that would not be
No.
contracting.
But, like, licking it, like
if like if you're licking someone's ear and you lick the actual earwax and they have, HIV or this AIDS virus, then that is a way
Right.
that they could
Contracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I heard, but that's good that we're here
And we can find
and we
out.
Can we're here to get
I know
great
about
information.
the blood and I know
Right.
about the
kissing,
saliva.
open mouth, saliva.
yeah, and having open wounds, but earwax. That's something I want to definitely. I want.
That's where I thought
confirmation.
you were going with it, because I
No,
actually
it's
that
like
was something I've heard.
Yeah, I took it totally left.
So yeah, that's why I was like, wait, that's not what I heard.
I'm serious. Yeah, we're gonna find out today. Is earwax a way that you can contract the virus?
Have you ever heard of that before?
I'm telling you, I never heard of it. But
well,
you
no,
know
like
what-
earwax,
That you
being
can-
able, like licking someone's the
Ear.
inside of the
you
ear.
guys went
and-
somewhere else while I was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she thought
we
that's
did.
where I was going with it, but I kind of went left. But that is something that I heard.
You
And I,
didn't go left, but you went left from where I was at. But
well, yeah, I didn't go left because I
Yeah.
went first, so I was going
Right.
straight, and then you took me right.
Well, my
Yeah.
tongue, my tongue's not pointy enough. Probably.
No, but
I
you
got
know
a fat
that's
tongue, so I'm not going to get it from the earwax. You're saying
that
someone
ear's a
licking,
little-
if you lick someone's ear,
Yeah,
you can get it?
I mean,
yeah,
we,
that's what we're
we
trying to
heard,
find out.
So
Okay,
we want to
so
find out.
I'm gonna have
Earwax
Trinity-
carries.
I'm going to have Trinity go around the event
Yes.
and do that as a survey.
Ask,
I like
is that
that
a way
survey.
Right.
to contract the virus? Because we want to know, and we want our viewers to know, like, you know, because earwax
Can you contract
is
it from
different.
earwax? That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
question. All right.
Because, you know,
Right.
that's an intimate place is your
Right,
ear.
your
And a
ear.
lot of people kiss
Right.
and lick the ear.
Right.
And people should know.
well, I don't think you should be digging in there with your tongue, but okay.
But, you know,
I mean, you can kiss the
they
ear without having to
I think you should be.
lick
dig
all
in the
in.
tongue inside the earwax.
Yeah.
But even if they just lick the
Look at your face. when you make- I believe you, Constance.
Yes, please, calm down. You know, we on the air.
I don't know if she's going to make it.
Right? We need you to speak in a little bit. So, but you don't know because sometimes the ear might be a little dirty. Like, you know, you go in for the kill and you don't know that they didn't
that
use
you
the
really
Q-tip.
are going in for the kill.
Yeah. And then you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Not only was it nasty, now
you
there's
got
a
something
possibility
nasty.
that, you know, you could have a little more than what you came
And
there
then that's
for.
another thing, because if you're not being intimate and then, you know, you're doing that, you just don't know. So we're going to find out for you guys and let you guys know, just as well as letting ourselves know if that
Right.
is an actual way to contract or not, or is it a way to find out if someone, if a woman is a little contagious. So
Yes.
we're going to find all that out for you.
Yes.
Okay. I got him asking the question.
Oh,
You
All
should have
right,
seen,
good.
you should have seen Trinity's face when I tried to explain it. I don't know if I explained it properly.
What did you say?
Well, hopefully
Lord?
he'll get it out too. He'll
Once-
convey it.
Well, I said Constance wants to make sure that, you know, she can't get it that way because she likes to
I
get
know
inside
you
people's
didn't
earlobes.
say that.
Yes.
Ears.
Perfect.
And she
I
has a very
couldn't have
sharp
said
tongue.
That better.
She has a very pointy
You didn't
tongue.
say that.
She likes to dig in people's ears, and she wants to make sure that she can't contract it that
Thank
way.
you. I'm glad you made that
So
clear.
why
That
did you go with JoJo?
Constance B likes the
Well,
lick
Constance
ears.
B is the one that
Yeah.
likes it.
Yeah.
We're just
What if I like it done? Like, what if that's like my
Either way,
thing?
it
well,
doesn't
well, we
matter.
assume if you like it done, you do as well. You
Yeah.
are reciprocal, aren't you?
You know, you said you were a giver.
Why is it?
You are a giver.
Yeah, you know, you told us that. So.
I don't
did.
understand why all this is coming to me. You asked the question about the. You see how you guys do me? It's okay.
Hey, we're gonna get our answer today
We are.
for you.
Yeah, for you. We're just here. We want to protect you. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. You guys just want to make sure
Yes,
that I'm sure.
absolutely. And that's what we are supposed to do for each other. So,
looking
ladies, men, you know, the same thing we're doing is looking out for Constance B. You have to look out for your family and your friends.
Right.
You know, yourself
You're
and
actually,
your partner.
You're actually bringing up a really good point. I mean, everyone should kind of, when we talk about this, you should kind of look into the practices that you most enjoy. And to make sure you're practicing those things safely. Because one thing is
That's
liking
true.
it, but just to make sure if
It's
there's
safe.
a safer way to do what you like to do,
That's so true.
then that's what you want to do. Not that what you're doing is wrong. I mean, I know we're joking with you, CB. You're
Yeah.
allowed to do whatever. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home with another consensual partner. The thing is, though, is to make sure you're at least safe doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what we want for each other, for our viewers, and you know,
Which is another good one that we could actually ask as well is, you know, those who enjoy just oral, you know, is that a way, because I've heard oral just flat out, if they have it, then yes. And then I've also been told, no, you'd have to have a cut, you know, in your mouth in order
your
for
lip
you
somewhere.
to contract it. Like
Right.
it's not like if you don't have any open wounds and you go down there, you're okay. And so I think that's another great question to maybe get some truth to.
I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be the same answer as the earwax, because I think that there is blood and semen.
right?
So I'm gonna guess that that would be crossing that barrier. But I don't know if there's blood in earwax. But I think you just tapped into what I think the answer is gonna be.
Good.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The blood is in the earwax.
No, if there's blood in earwax, then I
Then
think
yes.
the answer would be yes. But if there's not blood in earwax, I think the answer is going to be no. But I think there is blood in semen, correct?
Well,
We all have that same look.
yeah. Kinda
I'm sure
like,
there's somebody here that knows
Yeah.
that answer.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure.
why we're gonna get
That's why we're
educated
here
today, you
That
guys,
is why we're
and
here.
we're gonna educate you as well.
Let me go get that question
Yeah,
as well.
That's a really good.
That's
question.
a good question.
Ew, blood and semen. Have you ever thought about that?
No, I never thought about it because you don't see it, you know? I mean, not that I've taken out a microscope to go through anything, But
You don't see no red.
but
in
you
that.
don't. That's exactly, because I think that would turn a lot of people away from a lot of things.
Hey, this is JoJo Knows and Constance B. We're here at WPSN99.com.
The Problem Solving Network.
And we will be right back. Commissioner Siplin is on the way.
Yes.
Hey.
Talking about love. Talking about love and happy, yeah. Talking about love and happiness. Love and yeah.
And we're back. And yes, Constance B had to do her singing. She always does.
Hey, I'm getting better though. You
Thank
see,
you.
I did like a low. V.
A what? That's not even a letter.
Just let me feel that I got this.
It's like a
I don't-
B, A, C, flat, sharp.
It was Did
Did you say, what was the letter you?
It was a low V. It was like a
Okay.
high V, low.
No, nowhere in the music book.
Is there a V?
No.
In
Oh,
my
I
own world.
thought I was wrong.
Yeah, that's
In
how you
my
know.
own, this.
Well, then how do you know,
Welcome
JoJo,
back
that
to
she
the
wasn't
Lemon
on the
Squeeze.
I played
where
the piano and the clarinet.
V? No,
JoJo Knows always bashes my voice.
no, I think it was in the V then.
It was.
Yeah, I
Oh.
agree.
All right, though, doctor. He just making you feel good right now. But I will too. It was a V.
Okay, welcome back, you guys.
Yes, I'm your girl, your host, JoJo Knows.
And I am your co-host, Constance B. And we are very excited today because we are here at the
Golden Heights Community Center.
yes on
For
20th
HIV.
Street.
Yes, it's 1201 20th Street, and it's National HIV AIDS Black Awareness Day.
Yes.
So we're here representing.
Oh my gosh! And then all this wonderful blackness going on, and then not to mention
Yes.
the Black Panther movie is now out.
Oh yeah, that
You
is
got-
true.
I'm gonna
I want to go see it.
I am too.
I have to go see it.
Yes, and I think that like I've been seeing so many people like posting different things, and I was a little confused because I was like, oh, this is an action figure movie, but then to come to find out, or I thought it was something.
Like a superhero.
Yeah, but so I see other people dressed in a different ways, so I was kind of confused. But anyway,
Hi.
hello.
Yes. Oh, put those headphones on right there.
So you can hear us. My voice
Yes.
gets kind of low.
And grab that mic so we can hear you and everyone else can too. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Oh, we're great.
We're doing great. We noticed your shirt, 94.5.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about you and
Yeah.
who you're representing. And
While you're here.
Okay, so me personally, I'm Jasmine Hankins. I just recently graduated from Valencia College, majoring in
Oh.
broadcast and journalism.
Awesome.
Which brings
yes.
in starting 4.5. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Which brings in starting to 4.5. I'm the promotions coordinator there. So we're here
Wow.
today because some of our sponsors like True Health and Care Plus, we work with those closely just to bring awareness to people in the community, like when it comes to their health, whether it's your weight or your status. So we're just here doing that. Also, since it's Black History Month, we're doing a Black History Month bus tour next Saturday. So we're registering people there so they can just win a spot.
oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yes.
So your takes on HIV, because I see that you're around our age and the youthness. So how are you when it comes down to dating and being tested?
Okay, so with that, it's a little touchy just because I just entered in the dating world where that's like a possibility now. So I guess that people just need to, how they use the term stay woke when it comes to culture and all that stuff. You kind of have to stay woke and be aware of what's going on inside your body too. And I feel like some
Yes.
people, they're kind of just scared to realize it's a possibility. You can get it or you might have it. So to me, just to sleep better at night, just find out. You might as well catch it now than being caught off guard with it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Which is a
wow.
good question. So do you think that individuals should get tested together or you should go individually?
If you're in a relationship, I would suggest together just so you can avoid hiding anything. Not saying that people do it, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, you
So
find
just
out and
go
then you're
in
like,
together.
"No."
It just shows honesty and trust. Like I'm with you, just in case anything happens.
Oh, good.
And then if you were,
Comfort.
so let's say you're dating this, this new guy and he's perfect and, you all go get tested and you find out that he truly is positive. Is that a deal breaker for you?
It depends on the situation. I was just telling you, if you come into the relationship not having it, and then all of a sudden you get it and I don't have it, it's like,
Wait a minute.
well, what happened here somewhere? But going into a relationship, and if you have it, we could work with it. We could do something about it. Like, make sure you just stay healthy. But if you come in, don't have it, and leave with it, it's like, okay. So that's distrust, and then you caught something while you were there. So to me, that's a deal breaker.
But you know what? That's
some things lie dormant, right?
I was gonna say
Right.
that's really a great point, because from what I know, which I'm not an expert, but say for example you meet this guy and you all go and get tested and he's clean, but let's say like a couple weeks prior, he was with someone else unprotected, and it was truly before you all were in a relationship. However, when at the time that he was tested, it didn't show up, but there was no infidelity. It just was the timing of when the test was taken.
Okay, so for that's different too. I
You
feel like
really
in that
don't
situation,
know.
you kind of have to dissect, like, okay, what
Yeah.
happened? And then that'll determine, okay, are we going to stay together? Are we going to work with that? Or should we go our separate ways?
Right.
But in that
That's a good
situation, it's like,
point.
okay, I get that.
And maybe we should ask, because I think there's like a window, that you have to go by. And so for everyone listening, or, for just our generation and everyone else out there, like, should we get tested with our partner and then wait a period of time to get tested again to make sure that we get the whole window, so that, there's not questions of infidelity and cheating, when they truly didn't. It just was a window thing.
Right.
That's a good question to, find out from our experts here today.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking to a few of them, so that along with our other questions with the earwax and all that.
Yeah, I
it's
want to know about the earwax
Yeah,
too.
me
That
too.
kind of caught
Yeah,
me
that's
off guard.
There's a lot of answers. We'll have Trinity on after the commissioner, and we'll find out what the audience has said so far.
That'd be perfect.
good. Yeah.
But thank you for coming, and
Yes,
thank you for
no
talking
problem.
about the,
Thank you
book,
for
the bus
having
tour.
me. This
Yes.
is
Good
so
luck
nice.
And
with your
congratulations.
future.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
That is
you.
so awesome.
I like how she said, now that I'm dating, now that I've entered the dating world, now I guess it's a possibility, and that sounded very mature. That was
Yes.
just a very
It did,
mature answer.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Cute.
I like that. Obviously, you went and got your education first, and now it's like, okay, now I have time to,
Yeah, 'cause that's,
meet someone. Yes,
a
education
totally different
first.
world.
Yes, nice meeting you.
All right, thank you guys.
you. Good luck on your journey.
Thank you.
So that was really wonderful.
I know
to
she
have.
made a good point, and the
I wasn't thinking like that.
being
you know.
uncomfortable though about this topic is so obvious. Because when we asked her, she because it is.
Yeah, it's something to think about and putting a lot of effort towards. So to add on to what she was saying, as far as going into relationships, and I think that that's a great thing. And like I said, unfortunately, back when I was in my early 20s, I wish I would have been thinking clearly like that, to the point of saying, okay, before anything happens. Now, have you done that? I've done that before. Actually went with a person, and I wish it was something that will continue before you're meeting somebody and actually want to go and lay down with them. And
Why are you getting all in my
Decide.
personal business?
well,
Have you actually gone and done that?
No. I'm honestly, I am the individual, now, being in a relationship with my man, then we can go together. But beforehand, I just feel more comfortable doing that by myself.
Yeah.
Individually, I don't want anyone in the room with me unless it's like my mom or,
yeah,
to
It's
go
personal.
and have that test and then a doctor tell me, possibly the worst news ever. So I personally just always felt like I should go by myself. Now I'm comfortable, being with the man that I am, that, I would do it with him. But beforehand, no.
No.
I don't want you with me.
You're only
Yeah.
saying that because he's in the room.
No, I'm serious.
He looks up like, oh, you gonna put me on the spot, really?
I know, right? Disregard. Hello, Commissioner Zeppelin.
Well, good morning, ladies.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. We are so happy to have you.
Oh, it's always an honor and a privilege to be amongst women who are making moves, great
Yes.
moves and
Yes.
great strides, and I'm just honored to be in your presence.
Well, thank you. That makes us feel really
I know,
wonderful,
right?
because we definitely are pushing and loving to empower other women. And
Absolutely.
on this occasion, this day, for this event, I mean, we couldn't have asked to be anywhere else. This is a perfect place to be. So how are you this morning?
Well, I am doing wonderful. I'm truly blessed. I just left Robbinswood Middle School, and it is Archer Service Day. And we had approximately 150 students out in the Pine Hills area just cleaning up and servicing their neighborhood. So it's good to see young folks, giving back and understanding that service doesn't start when you're older. It starts very young, and we must implement that in our youth. So I was just grateful. We were out there since 7:30 this morning, so I'm just grateful to be here. So
Wow, that is awesome.
That is good. That's still doing service of acts in the community. Though that is something that I absolutely enjoy. My mom used to really put that inside of me, and feeding the homeless and the different things that we've done, and it makes you really feel good, a sense of gratitude, because you know that you're doing it for a purpose,
right?
And and it's good for them to know, to help clean up their community. Keep it clean, or keep your environment clean.
So when they walk, if they're walking home from school and they see a friend drop something on the ground, I'm like, no, you need to pick that up, because I was over here this weekend cleaning up. So
it's probably your trash.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. And then, coming here and supporting this event regarding AIDS awareness, and letting our community understand that, this is something that we have to take serious.
Right.
And educating folks, I think, is the key. I just told the group that was in there that, ignorance is expensive. How expensive depends on how much you do not know, and not knowing certain things can cost you your life. So it's very important. Yeah. So it's very important that we educate ourselves, and we don't stop educating ourselves or educating our community. So it's important.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask you a question. Before entering into a relationship, is that something that you would give advice to our men and women, to get tested together or to go separately? As Joel and I were just speaking about, you were coming into our conversation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it depends. If you're just getting to know someone, of course, I would say go separately. But if you're to the point where you are going to get intimate with somebody, and if you can't go in and do it together, then there's a level of you're still not comfortable with that person. And so before you get intimate, if you're not comfortable with somebody, I think this day and age people are so quick to get intimate, and that's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
I'm old school. You got to take some time.
Like Steve Harvey?
No, more than Steve Harvey. he has the 90-day rule. I think it takes more than 90 days. Yeah. So, but it like my sister was saying, it depends on the comfort level. But if you're not, it is with the decision of going in knowing that you can get a answer that could affect your life, totally change your life. It's something that you should take seriously. And so for me, if you're hesitant on not, going together with somebody,
maybe he's not the one.
No, I don't
Or
think
she.
so. Or she's not the one.
That's a good point. See,
Yeah.
that's with what I just said. Like before, I wasn't comfortable, but with the man I am with now, we're best friends.
Exactly.
So, you coming with me.
So if something does, let's say you get a result that you're not expecting, you hope that the person that is in that room with you will be supportive no matter what, and then you can just deal with it. But if you can't bring somebody in that room with you that's going to be supportive,
listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to get somebody that can love you through the good and the bad, and that is so true. I'm married, and they say, for better, for worse. I think in a relationship, it has to be, if you're going to be with me, it's going to be for the good and the bad, because in every relationship you have your good times and you have your rough times. And people don't realize, but it's the rough times that you go through in a relationship that actually makes you stronger.
Yes.
That makes the relationship stronger, because if we could get through this, oh, we can get through all this other little stuff.
Yes,
I
and
didn't know
especially
Commissioner Simmons was going to preach today.
Oh, I told a crew.
Yes.
I told a crew this morning. It was our Orange County think of solid waste, and I had to tell them that we women, we kind of wrote the book, took some pages out and gave it to the gentleman,
Yes.
And then that was back when they didn't have social media, so it's not out there. And we didn't have scanners and stuff, so we
Right.
still got those pages
Yes.
that they're wanting to have. Even
know
Steve
that's
don't got
right.
those pages, so.
Can I have a copy? I just want a copy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we can make something happen.
Yeah.
We can
Yes,
make something
ma'am.
happen.
well, and I too. I wanted.
I had a question.
Well, go ahead and ask because I
Being
got this
that
eating
you-
me up.
Yes, since I'm not married yet, you are married. As a married woman, in your relationship, in your marriage, do you still get tested? Like, should married couples still get tested if they're in this relationship, this marriage,
a
and
good
there's a
one.
union and there's no infidelity, there's no cheating? So is there a point in still being tested, or once you reach being married, it doesn't apply anymore because you're only with that person?
I can tell you from personal experience. Of course, I have 2 boys, and when I did my blood work, they give you a list of different tests, and it includes HIV, and so I don't mind, And so when I do my annual checkup, and you do your blood work, so they give you a list of tests that you have to take, because I didn't know that I carried sickle cell. I have the sickle cell trait, and had I not gotten pregnant and then checked off all the lists, check me for everything when you do the blood work. So now I'm able to tell my kids, hey, your mom has sickle cell, and then my children, I passed it on to my kids. So now my kids know that because they're a carrier of the sickle cell trait, if they get with a female and she's a carrier, there's a chance that their children might be full-blown sickle cell anemia. So at that knowledge, we talked about
Yes.
awareness. So when I do my blood work, I still just go check the box. So
That's good to know.
That is good to know.
Always
So-
check the box.
yeah, just because they tell you, we're checking you for all this. Do you mind? No, I don't mind. Yeah. So, like I said, if even if you're married, how you living. You might not
Know how
actually
your partner.
because, like I told the group inside this morning, my aunt, she was married, 3 kids, and her husband was out there fooling around and got HIV, gave her HIV, hers turned into full-blown AIDS, and she died in 6 months because she was in denial. You know how when you're hit with news like that, sometimes you're in denial. It takes you a while. Just like when you have someone in your life who dies, and you just, I can't believe, I can't, so you haven't accepted what you have heard.
Right.
And so I think people go through that denial, and she went through it, and like I said, she died in 6 months because she just couldn't believe that she had, AIDS, but she got it through her husband. And
That's
so-
a good point. And even though we might believe that our husband or wife
Yeah.
is faithful, you really don't know. And it's not to say that, I think you're cheating, but let's just do what
Just
we
do it,
should, and be precautious and always check that box to, regularly be checked.
Yeah, because hopefully everybody gets an annual physical, and when you have that annual physical, hopefully you're getting checked it for yourself.
And
you
tell them
know?
to bring it home. Bring home that
They do.
result. We're going to go to dinner. Have a toast.
It's like a ticket in. It's like
ticket
an
in, yeah.
entry. It's like
Back into the
Stand
house.
at the door.
It's like a
Hand me the paper.
Yeah. You send a text message, honey, did your results come in yet?
Yep.
All right. Well, I hate to break you guys up, but Constance B's due on the stage.
It's time.
We're a little bit overpassed, but that's good. So I'm just letting you guys know. So if you guys want to close up with any last questions with the commissioner, do it.
Oh, we're having fun.
I
We
know.
are having
Oh, you
fun.
guys-
I
listen,
had
listen.
one good question.
No.
Go ahead,
No,
ask
you
it.
guys.
Yes.
Here's the deal. You guys can continue. Dr. Robinson will wait, I'm sure. But you guys can tell. I'm just letting you know where we're at with time.
I think they were running behind anyway. So
Yeah,
I think
you're
we're
good. You're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I just had one last question because we were
Sure.
talking about the teenagers and
I
do
was about Teenagers too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, do you feel that in high school that they should start testing, and it should be something that is mandatory or not? What are your? Because
I don't think it should be mandatory because they're still minors, and you still need to have parental permission. I have 2 teenagers. I have a 14 and a 15-year-old, and I keep them so busy. I know they better not be. They best not be. I know that's not correct English, but as a mother, you best not be. But anyway, but I think it should not be mandatory because, like I said, we're dealing with minors, and you have to have parental permission. That's according, because I want to know what if it's something like that. I need to know what's going on with my child.
Right.
And I know with HIPAA laws about privacy, I took my son to the dentist, and it was like, ma'am, you have to wait out. I ain't waiting out because who paying that bill? I'm coming in that room. I don't care about no HIPAA. So I couldn't believe that the doctor told me I would have to step out while he performed, dental procedure on my son. No, that's not happening because he's not paying the bill, doc. Unless you want him to pay the bill, I'll stay out the room. But if you want to get paid, I'm coming in that room. And so like I said, I don't think it should be mandatory. And I think if you as a parent, if you know that your child might be active or has a boyfriend, girlfriend, then that's up to a parent to discuss that with their child and, take their child to go get tested. But I don't think the school, it should be mandatory, and that's just my opinion. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That was
a really
my
good
question.
point.
Because, our kids with social media, with the internet, they're exposed
To so much. And
sexuality is just in their faces with videos, movies. It's just there. And so our kids are curious, but they're not ready. They're not mature enough. And so they're doing adult things as children. And that's what's scary to me, is that they're being exposed to adult matters, but they're still adolescents, and as a parent, you have to really be vigilant. You got to watch your children, because they change.
Right before your eyes.
Man, if a young lady, if I can tell my boy, my son, he's working out, got some weights, and trying to get fine at 15, and I'm like, what is it? Something's going on. So it's those subtle changes that you, as a parent, you just have to watch, and you just got to know your children and know their behavior, and when things start to change, talk to them. Say, let me talk to you. Let's find out, because you have the wisdom as the parent,
right?
And you have to utilize that wisdom.
Which
you were given that wisdom.
Glad you said, because I have a 17-year-old son, and when I found out he, decided to be active, it freaked me out.
How did you find out?
I reverse psychology. He actually I had to take him to the emergency room.
Oh.
And so I was telling him, hey, are you having, have you had sex? And he was like,
oh, you're talking
no.
about the doctors are asking, or you're asking?
I was asking him in the emergency room. He's like, no, I've never had sex. And I was like, well, you might not want to tell me, but say, for example, what's going on with you has to do with you having sex, and then, you pass away because you couldn't tell the doctors because I was in the room. I'm just really asking you for those reasons. And so he thought about it for a while, and then finally he let me know, which even broke my heart, because we always said when you decide to have sex, you come talk to me, like, let me give you some, protection. And I not only found out that he was having sex, but he had sex unprotected. And he told me that he knew because she looked clean. And
Child.
so, and that was the hardest thing for me, because since he was this little.
Making adult decisions.
Yes.
Well, you look.
And that's why the question I asked that, because I don't think it should be mandatory in the school, but I do think that, if it is in the school, that we could utilize that as a way of teaching them to start to get tested,
Yeah, we
especially
had
if they're
sex ed
making
growing up. I
this
had
decision.
Yeah, I had it in school, in high school. We had sex ed, but my 15. Well, when I take my kids to the doctor, and the doctor, they do ask, "Are you sexually active? Are you?" And they're looking at me because I'm in the room.
Right.
Like I said, I'm paying the bill. I'm staying in this room. But so they're asking. My kids are like, "Oh no." So like you said, they could say something different because their parent is in the room,
Yes.
but with someone else they might have that leisure to be honest. And so as a parent, you just got to know. So
And I want to say, I was that parent who, since he was so little, I showed him pictures on the internet. I tried to scare the mess out of him, and he still made a decision to not be
that's
safe.
the flesh. That's the flesh, honey. When the flesh talks, that's why we
Yes.
say we submit to the flesh.
So pay attention to
Wait,
your kids.
what pictures are supposed to scare?
Oh, about
a little
the,
more?
With the bumps and-
bumps
Oh,
and all that.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Those
the
pictures
nasty
scare me
stuff, the
now.
nasty
Yeah,
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those pictures scare me now.
Yeah, but we understand when we instill values and morals in our kids, but when that flesh starts to talk, y'all been there.
Yes, I was just about to say, we
They
go through
been
it
there,
as
so we
adults.
know what they go through, and exactly as adults, we fall to the flesh. So we just need to.
But now it makes sense because she said that he said she didn't look like she had it. Well, if you showed the pictures and she doesn't look like
Oh, she didn't have. Oh, yeah.
I think he
She's
did
clean.
exactly
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
a good
talking.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something to
Now we
remember
know.
as
Now-
we're talking
yeah.
to our kids. Like,
Because that's a very big difference between the pictures.
that's true.
Yeah,
That is so true.
I told I went to FAMU. Well, I went to Tallahassee, and my nephew is at FAM. Is at FAM, my cousin. And I told him, I was like, because FAM.
Yeah.
It's just temptation all over. Because the ratio for men to women in college, we don't even want to get into that. But I told him, I said, yeah, they might look good, but they diseased on the inside.
Like the old saying, everything that look good
Ain't good for
good.
you. Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Especially with women, because all of our organs are internal. So a lot of stuff that happens you cannot
Yes.
see.
That's true.
So we carry everything on the inside. We're
Right.
the carriers. So as women, I told them, I said, no, don't trust it.
Yes.
I've been married 24 years, and I'm going to go make my wife get tested today.
And you know
That's
what?
scaring the crap out of me.
But that's a good thing, though. It's a good scare.
Yeah.
It's a
Here.
day.
I'm hearing about your guys' dip test. Ask her about your dip test. Why don't you,
What's a
before
dip
we
test?
close off, why don't you guys ask her about this dip test that you
No,
have? See what her
well,
answer is.
having a teenage son, you hear all these, myths. And so there's this myth, and I know I'm saying it wrong, but I'm trying to find someone who knows what I'm talking about so that we can get it out there. But there's a myth with the ear, or so, I don't know if they touch the back of their ear or they touch inside of their ear.
With the wax.
And they put it in some part of the woman's area, and if she squirms or if it burns her, it's a symbol that there is an STD or she's not clean. And so it's a myth to me, but I just really wanted to get someone who actually has heard about this remedy and this new generation, so we can
But
share.
that's
like
good
this
because we're
Yeah,
finding out what
yeah.
these kids are talking about. Like,
Well, I
this
tell
is
you
what
what,
they're.
I mentored, and these middle school girls are talking about eating after birth for youthfulness. They
Oh,
eat,
my
yeah, they
goodness.
put it in they blend it, the afterbirth, the placenta, because they saw it on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Yes, so that's what our
Drops
kids.
mic.
So
And the
kids are now
And they're Kardashians.
and the
Drops mic.
Kardashian, they're eating
Drops.
afterbirth. I'm like, what? So
And
yeah.
that's what someone was telling me.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought the shape, the shaper,
Yeah.
which we all want that slim waist, ladies. And when I had to tell her, that's great that you did get the shaper, but please know that these ladies have removed their ribs, and that's why their waist
exactly.
is like 18.
They have surgery.
Yes.
And, so, but yeah.
Well,
it
we
was-
Well,
All
yeah.
right, now Constance
yes,
does
I
that.
know.
We gotta go.
We got a whole crowd.
Yes.
It's the
Like,
Yes,
yeah, we gotta go.
You see that? Yeah.
Yes.
We
Well,
are
it was
so thankful that you stopped by to speak with us.
It's my pleasure. And we
Yes.
should do this again on other topics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Oh,
Come
yes.
see us anytime and hang out with us at the Wednesday.
Oh,
You were invited. We're
thank
family.
you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. So I will be on.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, thank you.
Yes. And I'm your host, JoJo Knows,
And I am your host, Constance B.
and we are the Limit Queen Show here on WPSN99.com.
The Problem Solving Network.
And Constance B is about to speak. We are here at National Black AIDS Awareness Day.
And Constance B.
Anyone else with a comment?
That's all there is.
There isn't anymore.